I've worked with some of the UK's biggest brands and retailers on their Black Friday discounting strategies, and I'm going to share exactly what I've learned and how it applies to you as a product business owner selling on Etsy and beyond. So if you're wondering how to actually stand out during the Black Friday madness this year, this is the video you need to watch. I'm going to talk you through how to plan your offer, what to post, when to start building hype, and how to keep that traffic and momentum flowing up to and over the Black Friday weekend and beyond without you feeling like you're just screaming sale into the algorithm void every 5 minutes. If that sounds good, then let's dive into it. So when it comes to Black Friday, we've got a few considerations to keep in mind. Black Friday is all about getting visibility in the lead up to the event so that people remember who you are and don't just see you for the first time on Black Friday weekend, but also it's about driving urgency over that weekend in order to bring those sales forward. People are going to be spending anyway, so why not with you, okay? I don't want you to go into this thinking that you don't like selling, you don't like annoying people, you don't like talking about your products. If there is any time where it is the perfect time to practice this, it is Black Friday because everybody's doing it. And if you are not talking loudly enough, then you're not going to get heard anyway, okay? So use this as your opportunity to get better at selling your stuff. And remember always that selling is serving. People have decided to follow you, decided to come into your world because they like you, they like your stuff, and they want to know about it. You are doing your people a disservice if you don't talk about your products. So that reminder aside, let's dive into the actual details. I'm going to make myself a bit smaller because there's a lot to look at. So starting off, if you are just selling on Etsy, then the best thing to offer is a discount. And this is because Etsy is really, really good at showing discounts to your customers. It's not so good at showing campaigns. It's not so good at showing these little different differentiators, different kind of offers that we might want to do in our own channels. And so just a straight discount is probably going to be your best bet. Now, you don't have to discount by any means, but just know that if you do, you're going to get the most visibility over the Black Friday weekend because that's what Etsy's pushing. Now, keep in mind at this point, you might actually decide that you don't want to discount full stop. You can still take some of the tactics from this lesson to really understand how to tap into that, driving that urgency and getting your customers on board for the season anyway. But if you are just selling on Etsy and you want to make the most out of the season, you've got some margins to play with so you can afford to give a discount, then opting into Etsy's Black Friday sale might be the best bet for you in terms of getting the most visibility. I'll show you how to do that in a second. But basically what you can do is you can run this flash sale over the Black Friday weekend. It will help you to tap into the urgency of the weekend. You'll get the countdown timers that your sale's ending soon, and you'll get the benefit of actually being a part of Etsy's cyber sale. It's going to be pushed on the homepage. It's going to be pushed on emails. It's going to be pushed out everywhere on the Etsy website. And you're going to get all of your things like your countdown timers, your sale ending soon badges, all of that stuff, which will help to just drive that urgency in those purchases over that weekend. Any of the other strategies that I'm talking about in this lesson kind of get lost in the noise of that sale on Etsy itself. So best solution for Etsy itself is to just run a discount, and then you can use some of these other strategies to double down, layer in into your own marketing and content. So first things first, I want to make sure that you have this reminder. Make sure you are covering the basics first. Always, 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 okay? It doesn't matter how good your sale is. You can offer 99.9% off. You can practically give it away for free. But if your SEO isn't there, people are not finding your products. If your thumbnails aren't great, people are not finding your products and they're not clicking on your products. If your listings aren't set up to sell, people aren't buying your products, okay? So all of those basics need to come first before you even think about running a Black Friday sale. So many times I see sellers opting into sales and discounting their products thinking that that's the solution, and 9 times out of 10 your price isn't the problem. It's that you haven't presented your products well, you haven't positioned your products well, your products isn't being found in search. So make sure you are covering those basics first before you jump into discounting and sales. That being said, let's have a look at how we can actually tap into the Etsy sale over the cyber weekend. So if you come into your marketing tab here and go to sales and discounts, you'll be able to see all of your options here. And the one that you might want to opt into if you want the most visibility and you can afford a big discount is to opt into Etsy's Cyber Week sales. So if we click on here, you can see how to set it up. It's going to be running from the 24th of November to the 2nd of December. That's quite a long time period, okay? So it's not just for Black Friday, it's going all the way over that weekend. So just keep that in mind if you are running something outside of the platform. You want to make sure that whatever you're doing outside of the platform is directly competitive with this, it's better than this, it's stronger than this, it's giving your customers something better than this. Or you can just talk about this as this 25% off, for example, over the whole weekend. That is absolutely fine too. But just know that that's kind of not as fun for socials, but we'll get into that in a little while. But if you are just selling on Etsy, then this is potentially your best option. So you can come here and you're going to have to start with a minimum of 25% off. So if you don't want to offer at least 25% off, you actually can't opt into Etsy sale because that's the message they're leading with, right? And I'll talk a little bit about discounting in a little while, but basically 10% off just will not cut it anymore. These low level sales, they're just going to get completely ignored by your customers because it's just not strong enough. So you will have to choose 25% or over if you want to be a part of this. Now, the really cool thing this year is that Etsy isn't doing this site-wide across everything. So in the past, they've made you choose your entire shop. So I've never been able to opt into this before because I don't discount my wedding stationery. But actually, this is a pretty cool opportunity to actually just choose the listings that you're going to allow to be a part of this sale, right? So you can come in and you can choose the ones that are most relevant to the sale, that maybe have the highest margins, or that you know, are protecting the ones that you don't want to discount. So this is a really cool option this year. And actually what I will do is I will opt into to this sale with some of my listings, which I've never been able to do before because I've never been able to discount my whole shop. And this is actually a really great opportunity for me to share maybe how this might work for me going forward. So that is how you opt into Etsy's sale. You can also choose to just set up your own discounts in Etsy as well. You can set up your kind of exclusive offers like your abandoned basket, things like that. These aren't Black Friday specific. These are, you know, ongoing things. But you could set up a promo code that you can then give to your customers outside of Etsy. Please note that if you set up a promotional code, like a 25% off with a code they have to put in, they're not going to be promoting that on Etsy. You're not going to see that on Etsy. Your buyers will still see full price products on Etsy, and they won't be able to get the discount without the code. So this is great for giving your buyers outside of Etsy, say on your social channels or your email list, an extra discount on top of the sale or their own exclusive discount that isn't being shown. So it's a pretty cool option as well. You can also run a sale across your whole website, a whole Etsy shop, and discount by a certain percentage. So for example, if you can't afford to go for 20% off or 25% off or more, but maybe you want to do 20% off everything else, you could do an opt-in for the 25 and overs or not, and then you could do say 20, 10, 15, whatever it might be on your other listings. Just keep in mind, like I said, 25% and over is pretty much what the expected standard is for Black Friday, and anything less than that might get a little bit lost in the noise. Unless, of course, you never offer a discount, and it's quite a good option for your customers because it's the first time you've ever done it. So just keep that in mind as well. You've got some other mechanisms as well where you can encourage bigger orders with a minimum order discount, and we're going to talk about how to actually use that effectively later in the lesson. And then you can offer listings together for less, so you can actually build a bundle and offer it at a discounted price with a discount off over 2 or more listings. So you can add up to 3 listings here and then choose what discount you offer on all 3. Just know that I have tested this a few times and I haven't seen a huge amount of uplift with this kind of offer. It is being promoted like this on some pages on Etsy, but I'm yet to see much success from actually using this. So they are the Etsy options. These are the things that you can play around with. Like I say, I would recommend 25% or over and opting into the Etsy sale if you can, if you want to discount, if you are only selling on Etsy. But if you're selling outside of Etsy, let's dive into some strategies that might work even better than just a generic sale. So how can you build your own buzz on your own channels, even if you've got a small audience, even if they're not necessarily that engaged? This is your way to do that, and I'm going to show you at the end a plan of what I would post each week, what kind of content I would be posting each week to get people on board and into the funnel into Black Friday itself. So first thing you can consider is a VIP strategy. So this used to work insanely well for the brands that I worked with. I implemented this in one of the menswear brands that I worked at through my career, and we would basically give our VIPs the Black Friday offer on the Thursday night. So it would go live to the world on Friday morning, but they would get the Black Friday offer 12 hours early, and they'd get to shop it all night before everyone else did. And honestly, the amount of demand that actually generated for this business, it actually caused problems down the line because I implemented this strategy and then Black Friday numbers looked pretty terrible because we pulled so much demand into the Thursday and did so well that day before. So overall, it was a really good strategy, but it did cause chaos on the Monday reporting meetings when Black Friday numbers were down because Thursday was so good. Really, really good strategy, and you can also repeat it post Black Friday for any VIPs who didn't necessarily buy or maybe missed out, to give them an extra bonus as well. So how we do it, we can spend the next 3 weeks building our VIP list and launch only for them or give them something exclusive, something extra that drives that loyalty and hype. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start trying to build that list up to either get people onto your email list, get people into a broadcast channel on socials, get people onto a close friends list on socials, just some way that you can exclusively contact just those people. Now, I like email the most. I think it is the best place to drive loyalty. So what we want to do is we want to start building up to that. We want to start teasing the fact that VIPs are only going to get the Black Friday offer, for example, or VIPs are going to get something better. We also want to give them a reason to be on our list in the lead up to that as well. So some brands I see do a really good job of this. They might do things like they might offer an exclusive pre-launch collection, so they get first access to a launch in case it sells out. They might offer an exclusive bonus or something like that, an exclusive added extra. But basically what you are doing is you are giving them a reason to sign up to be a VIP on your newsletter, to be the first to hear about it, or to get this extra thing. Now, another thing that works really, really well is to potentially offer a better than Black Friday offer before Black Friday. Now, I would say you would need to have already been engaging your audience and know that you have at least a pool of people who regularly buy from you on socials already and know from you. Because if you don't have that, then we're going to need to use pretty much the next 3 weeks to build up to that point before we launch our Black Friday offer. But if you have even a small engaged pot of customers, you can actually do a better than Black Friday pre-launch, say the week before, and say, hey, by the way, we're not getting involved in that noise of Black Friday. Maybe Black Friday doesn't align with you. Maybe you are anti-consumerism and you don't want to be involved in the noise and the hype around Black Friday. That is totally fine if that is what aligns with your values, but this is a way that you can maybe do them a better deal for the week before Christmas, or the week before Black Friday, to make sure that they are being rewarded as a customer and they are, getting in on this hype. It doesn't have to be a discount. It can be another thing that I'll share with you in a second. But this basically gives the option for them to, get this Black Friday deal without the noise of Black Friday. And what also is great about that is you're not then competing with all the other voices on Black Friday because you've pulled your offer a week forward. But the thing with this one is you have to 100% guarantee you're not going to go deeper on Black Friday. So you can't panic and go, oh, that didn't work so well, I best give a bigger discount on Black Friday. All that's going to do is really annoy your customers. So you have Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday. So this is over the whole weekend. The Friday is usually your biggest day, but what a lot of places do now, and what you can see Etsy is doing on their platform as well, is running a sale from Friday to Monday. I mean, Etsy's is running even longer than that, which not really for me. It kind of drags it out a little bit, I think, and I prefer short, sharp, and sweet, especially because you get little urgency messages on Etsy. For example, sale ends in X amount of time in the basket when you are, close to ending that sale. I think it's from 72 hours, it starts telling you that there's a countdown to when that sale ends, and it's just an extra reason for somebody to buy before they miss out on that discount. But that's by the by. So Black Friday, obviously the big shopping day, the day after Thanksgiving. Small Business Saturday. Now, some parts of the world celebrate this or promote this at a different time of year. But generally speaking, in the e-com industry, Small Business Saturday, especially in the UK, is the day after Black Friday. And this is a day for small businesses to really shout about themselves and go, hey, you might have been, shopping on Amazon and all the big boys yesterday, but let's talk about small businesses today. This is my small business. And this is where you can still promote your offer as well. Obviously, then you've got the Sunday, you've got plenty of opportunities to promote that day. And then Cyber Monday is basically Black Friday 2.0. It is anyone who missed out on Black Friday or didn't get everything on Black Friday. It tends to be when either nearly as good deals happen or those deals are ending. So just keep that in mind when you're planning out the campaign. Another strategy that you could think about is the reverse Black Friday option. So a little bit like we talked about before when we are saying about a better than Black Friday pre-launch offer, that would be around if you are still opting into giving sales and discounts and things like that. But actually maybe you don't want to give whatsoever. You don't want to give any discounts. You don't want to be involved in this whatsoever. You absolutely hate Black Friday. Then a great campaign option for you could be a reverse Black Friday offer. So instead of discounting, maybe you're giving back. Patagonia did this a few years running. I'm not sure. I can't quite remember what they did last year, but they've always been pretty bold with it, where they are anti-consumer waste. They're anti kind of overspending on all of this stuff. And so they actually switched their website off completely over Black Friday and donated a portion of proceeds over the Black Friday weekend to their, some big charities, things like that, the charities that they support, the values that they align with. And it was a really cool way to get a lot of attention because in a world of everyone shouting about discounts, they were doing something a little bit different. So you could try and employ this strategy, this tactic in your own way as well. You could try giving back. You could try giving back to your community. You could talk about how the communities that you do support, maybe giving a percentage of proceeds for that day to a local community or a community that aligns with your business values. You can talk about how you are opting out completely and talk about why that is. And just know that these things obviously don't drive a spike in demand necessarily like a Black Friday offer and a deal does, just because so much of the industry is talking about discounting and sales. but it also cements you and plants you as the person in your industry that has a voice and has a point of view on this. And this can really help strengthen your values if this is what is best aligned for you. So, like I said before, 10% off just won't cut it anymore. Not in 2025, not when we are so used to seeing at least 15, 20, 25% off as standard across the industry. 10% just, it's going to get lost in the noise, okay? So, a few of the options that you have in terms of choosing a different offer, you could choose to offer a clearance or a sale. Now, I don't love this. This is when you kind of go up to 70% off selected lines, right? And you go with your lines that you have the most stock of, the lines that you need to shift, the lines that maybe aren't selling as well. This is a tactic employed by big businesses who do want to shift a lot of stuff. And just keep in mind, they often have big audiences. So they have a big enough pool of people who actually don't really care that much about the newer stuff or the stuff that they want to be known for. And they really just want to get an insane deal on something that they may or may not have bought otherwise. So I don't really love the clearance strategy. This is really better for things like if you are coming to the end of a season, you're coming to the end of your seasonal line, you maybe want to say, I've got it's in the sale up until this point, and at that point I'm moving into the next season, so it won't be available anymore, rather than just having an ongoing clearance sale that gets a little bit boring and a little bit samey. Okay, so take this one with a pinch of salt. It is an option for you to go and up to discount and try and do a clearance that way, but I do find that this one can be a tricky one to get a lot of traction with, unless you have a subset of your audience or the majority of your audience who just want an insane steal. And just keep in mind also, you don't want to damage your brand long term by discounting things that you're going to keep selling down the line, because why would someone buy it at full price if you've just offered 70% off it for a weekend? Okay. The other options that you have that kind of offer a little bit more fun or engagement, or kind of something a little bit different that cuts through a bit more, you can do things like buy one get ones, spend and save, free gift with purchase. So for example, with buy one get ones, you might want to offer, buy one get one free. You might want to offer buy two get two free, whatever it might be. There's ways and mechanisms that you can do this that actually make it more fun as well. For example, if you were selling jewelry, you could offer one for you, one for your best friend, right? Buy one get one, but you are just presenting and packaging it a little bit more fun. So rather than just going, hi, I've got buy one get one free on all of my things, think about how you can make that a fun message as well. Spend and save is a similar kind of mechanism, but instead of ordering a quantity, they order a certain amount. So for example, you might say if you spend £50 or more, you can get a £10 back voucher, or you can get £10 off, or you can get 10% off, right? Think about the different mechanisms you can pull there. Some of these are available to set up on Etsy. Some of them would be manual in your own shop. Depends on kind of where you are doing that, but you would want to check out which ones are available to you to set up in Etsy. Most of them are, but you just have to play around with them. But spend and save is a little bit different in that they have a set amount that they have to spend and then they get something back. You could also do this combined with a free gift. For example, spend 50 and get a free gift, or buy 3 items and get a free gift. So really think about how you can play on that and kind of bring a little bit more fun into it, so that it is not just another generic marketing message, right? We want to think about it or sale message. We want to think about it in a way that the messaging really connects with your customer. So like that kind of one for you, one for your best friend example, or like a get your year of cards sorted by opting into our Black Friday bundle, which has 12 cards, one for every season of the year, and this is going to set you up for all of 2026 for all of your cards, right? Only available on Black Friday weekend. Something exclusive that they can't normally get. It could be a bundle of your best-selling templates. It could be a bundle of your a gift box that you've curated just for Black Friday and Christmas, but Black Friday you are launching it. It's the first time you've ever offered it, and over Black Friday weekend you've got 15% off. After that, it's going to full price. Yes, you'll probably pull most of your sales and your urgency into the Black Friday weekend, but then you can continue to promote that through December as your kind of last chance urgency message around getting it before Christmas. Okay. Other options, fun things like win your order back. You can also tie things like this into some of the other ones, so you can layer them. Now, I don't want you to go crazy and get it all confusing. Your customer needs to understand what they're getting. But if, for example, you say get a free gift when you spend £50, and also one person's going to win their order back this weekend, that's a huge incentive for people to actually place their order over the Black Friday weekend. So just another mechanism, another lever you can pull. So if we want to make the most out of Black Friday, out of this period, out of the shopping frenzy in November, then we need to keep this huge rule in mind that we cannot just post once on Black Friday and then be done with it, okay? This is going to be the fastest way to disappointment, because at the end of the day, we are going to be competing with a lot of noise in the industry. And when I say you need to be noisy if you're going to cut through, you do, but you need to be noisy in your own way. That doesn't mean just shouting or anything like that. It doesn't mean shouting louder. It doesn't mean getting stressed out that people are not seeing as many of your posts. Engagement is likely to be a little bit lower in this period because everyone is posting. But all I mean by this is literally just continually showing up and showing your customers you are still here, what you have to offer, and reminding them of what they need to do in order to take that next step with you, okay? So let's dive into what you actually need to do at each phase through November so that you know what you're posting, what you're talking about to build up to that hype that we talked about previously around the different types of offers and the VIP list and all of that stuff that we can do to drive urgency and drive sales through Black Friday. So let's start with phase one, which is this week. This is the first week in November. It's where we are right now. The first thing you want to do is you want to pick that offer. You want to pick the offer that you are going to focus on for Black Friday so that you know what you're talking about in the lead up to it. Now, you're not necessarily going to release it straight away. You're not going to talk about it straight away. But at least if you know what you're building towards, you know what kind of hype and excitement to build around that offer. Because if you're just going to do 10% off, there's no point in talking about this huge VIP access and really kind of going hard after all of the the exciting things that are coming, if then it's going to fall a little bit flat on its face, okay? So we want to know what we're working towards, we want to know what we're building towards so that we then know what kind of content that we are creating. We want to remind our customers that we are here if we've been quiet. So I don't mean that you need to come back on and announce a big all singing, dancing return to social media or anything like that. Now, if you've been away for a while and you have a reason to kind of share something like that, you absolutely can do. But all this means is you just start showing up, start posting, start reminding your customers why they followed you in the first place, okay? You want to show them that you know them. So remind them, like I said, why they decided to follow you. Start talking to those pain points, those desires, those things that really connect you to your customer, the reason that they decided to follow you or sign up to your email list in the first place. You want to remind them of your values. You want to remind them what makes your brand so unique, why they want to pick you, why they decided to pick you when they followed you. Keep in mind that these people chose your page to follow for a reason, okay? So tap back into that reason. Start talking about those reasons again. Start talking about your values, what makes your brand and you unique, okay? Let people behind the scenes of your brand to really start building that trust and that authority and that likability factor as well. So really showing what you're doing behind the scenes. Are you making your products right now? Are you building your website right now? Are you about to release a new line of stock right now? Are you creating new products? What is it that you are doing behind the scenes? Are you packing orders? Have you had an amazing testimonial? Start talking about all of those things and just showing up consistently, authentically to do that, right? You see all of these hook templates and post this reel and do this and, do exactly this strategy in order to get likes and follows on your post. It doesn't have to be that difficult. Just be authentically yourself and start talking to your audience, okay? I think so many times, I talk about this all the time in SEO, but so many times we overcomplicate things and we take the customer out of it and we start talking about the strategy and how to get it perfect. But at the other end of the computer, at the other end of the conversation that you are having through your channels is a person. Just picture that person, remind yourself why they're here, and start talking to them like that person they are, right? Instead of trying to figure out all of the most viral hooks that are going to get you to 1 million views, because that's not what we want here. We want connection and we want to build our trust with that audience. And in the same vein, engage with your followers, be human, right? If people are engaging with your content, engage back. If people are replying to your stories, reply back to them. If people are commenting on your post, comment back to them, right? We have this weird thing as ecom business owners that we should post and then leave it and never come back, and we should be this kind of removed person and we are behind the brand and the products are the brand. Realistically, in 2025 and beyond, we want to connect with other human beings. So if people are going out of their way to give you engagement, then give it back, right? Engage back with them, create connections with these people who might come on to be your customers in the future. In phase 2, we are talking the second week of November here. Yep, second week of November. So from the week of the 10th for this year, we want to start teasing that offer. Okay, so we decided it last week, or this week that we're in, and we want to start really teasing it and talking about it. And, you don't necessarily need to reveal it at this point, but you might want to start saying, hey, something big's coming, this is what I'm working on. Or, hey, get on your VIP list because this is what's coming down the line, okay? So whether that VIP list is the email sign up, the close friends list, the broadcast channel, this is when you're going to start promoting it and start getting that built up. And you want to start reporting from the inside out to start saying, hey, oh my God, I can't believe this amount of people have joined us already. This is what's coming. Or this is a sneak peek of what's coming, or something big is coming, right? You don't want to be too generic and too vague because then people are going, well, I'll just wait to find out what it is because I might not want it. But it needs to tap into maybe what that customer might want that is coming. So for example, if it is a VIP exclusive and it is a bundle you've never done before, you might say, I'm putting 2 of our best sellers together, or we're putting 2 of our, number one most requested things together into a bundle that everybody has been asking for so long. any guesses on what it is, right? Let people into the conversation. Let people try and guess. You never know. You might actually find a better idea than the idea you already had from your customers, okay? Start talking about it like that. Talk about your amazing products and what makes people love them as well. We don't just want to be talking about this VIP list. We also need to be reminding our customers, hey, I sell these amazing diaries and they are, this is all the reasons that our followers love them, and this is the outcome you get from using them, and this is the pain point that it helps with, and this is the desires that it helps you to achieve, right? Really thinking about who that customer is, what they want from you, and continuing to talk about that stuff when it comes to your products. In phase 3, we are in the third week of November. This is the 17th of November for this year. We want to start talking about VIP reminders. We want to continue to tell our customers that they need to get on the list to get whatever it is they're going to get. If we're doing that, we might not be doing that, okay? I do recommend you do something along these lines, just to kind of, build a list of buyers who are warmer and are actually kind of interested in what you have to offer, rather than trying to just constantly sell to the void. Give them a reason to join. For example, it's only going to be available as a VIP list holder, or no, as a VIP list attendee. It might be an extra discount, an extra thing that they're getting that the rest of the world won't get, that you can only get by being in this VIP space. Or maybe it's a competition, maybe it's a win back, something like that. Whatever it is, start talking about it, keep talking about it, keep reminding your customers how to sign up. Start sharing feedback and testimonials, but like I say here, share stories about them. Don't just post screenshots, right? If you've had a sale in this week or in the week before and you had an amazing review off the back of it, talk about that review, right? You don't even necessarily have to show your face. You could do a voiceover of packing the product itself, right? Maybe you go, this was an order I packed last week. I absolutely loved packing it. It's one of my favorite products because of X, Y, and Z. And then this morning I got this amazing feedback that the customer said this, that, and the other. You can show the pop-up on the screen, you can show the review, but you can just talk over the fact that the reviewer said, these things about it, and that's made me so happy because of these reasons, because it aligns with why I do what I do, for example, right? We don't want to just go, here's a 5-star review off Etsy. Nobody cares. Like with love, nobody cares about that, okay? We want to know why you care about it. We want to see you talking about what that means to you, right? So again, the reviews really, really work to build social proof, because we love to love things that other people love as well. But you talking about it makes it something that we want to pay attention to and read, rather than it just going, hey, here's a screenshot of a review, okay? Maybe talk about how many people have already joined your VIP list if you're doing that. So how many people are already in the club, how many people are already excited, what are people talking about, if it is in a broadcast channel or in a, maybe a special DM list or something like that. What have you been chatting to people about? Really start talking about what that hype that is building to. And share your Black Friday prep. How are you getting ready for the rush, right? Get people involved, get people excited, take them along on this journey of getting ready for Black Friday. Because ultimately, if you are just burrowing away behind the scenes, you're so busy, you're squirreling away, you're getting everything done, you are too busy to show up on socials, that's fine. But the people who are hanging out on socials have forgotten that you exist again, right? Again, with peace and love, people are so busy, people are seeing so many things all over their feeds all of the time. If you just go, oh, it's fine, I just need to get all these things ready, so I'm not going to show up on socials, they've forgotten about you again. And you're going to have to work twice as hard to get them back next week. So keep showing up, keep telling them what you're doing, even if it is just a case of, I'm going to set my camera up for 10 minutes to film some of these things I do. I'm going to throw the clips together. I'm going to put some audio over it. I'm going to go, this is what I'm doing on my, this is what I'm doing to prep for Black Friday this week. This is what's going on in the studio this week. This is what I'm working on or designing this week. Okay, really think about sharing that journey with your people too. Then we are going into the exciting week, which is week 4. This is phase 4. This is the final week, Black Friday week. And this is your last push to get those VIP signups for the start of the week. So if you were going to launch on the Thursday or the Friday, you're using the first part of the week to get those final signups in. And this is the real kind of urgency moment. This is where you'll probably get the biggest spike of people, because it's their last chance to join. Cutting off the list at this point, and then you're not going to find out about this amazing offer until after all my VIPs get it, or you're not going to find out at all, okay? Build that pre-launch hype and excitement with countdowns and sneak peeks. You can use stickers on your stories. You can tell people when things are happening, when drops are landing. You can tell people to set their alarms. You can build that hype up that this thing is coming and this thing is happening, and maybe it is you're showing a sneak preview of it. I did one last year where I would show, I showed kind of roughly what was going on, but I put an effect over it so you couldn't quite read all of it. So people were excited that they kind of could understand what they were getting, but they didn't quite know what it was. And then obviously go live with your offer and shout about it. Oh my goodness, please shout about it. And again, I am not saying shouting by yelling at people all over socials, but Talk about your offer. You can't just post Black Friday offers now live and then sit back and relax for the weekend, okay? You want to be really kind of continually posting about it through the week and through the weekend as well. You have permission to post and promote lots over Black Friday weekend. You have permission to post and promote lots in general, but especially over Black Friday weekend, if you've ever been worried about this is the weekend to test and try it, because everybody's doing it. You're going to be in a sea of so much other noise. Get involved, see what happens, test things out, okay? Show your orders coming in or being packed. If you are starting to see orders to trickle in, if you're starting to pack your orders, if you're starting to get your orders, talk about it. Talk about the fact that that's happening. Again, we are giving people that social proof, that feeling of, oh, other people want this, and maybe I wanted it too. If they wanted it but they weren't sure, and then they don't hear anything from you, they're probably going to forget, they're going to drift off. But if they wanted it but they were a bit unsure, and then they start seeing that 2, 3, 5, 15, 30 people have ordered from you, then it's going to definitely help to cement the fact that they want it too, okay? It works every single time. Share any milestones, any wins, any order volumes that you might have hit. So if you've hit a certain milestone on Etsy, if you've hit a certain milestone on socials, if you've hit a certain milestone in reviews, anything like that, any sales milestones you're close to or you have hit. Say you get your first 8 orders, in the month of November, and you're like, we are 2 away from our 10th order. I wonder who it's going to be. We're going to give a special free gift to the 10th order, right? There's loads of mechanisms and levels you can pull to really make that fun and exciting too. And then finally, urgency reminders. Do you have limited stock? Have you got a final cut-off date for when you need to take orders? Because then that's it, you're done for Christmas deliveries, or the offer is ending at a certain point, right? Make sure people know what they are working towards, because otherwise you're going to get people missing out. Now, sometimes you can get people missing out, and that can be a good thing. So you might get, a huge volume of sales over this weekend and a huge volume of engagement, and everyone's really excited, but a handful of people forget. And then you get some DMs saying, oh my God, I can't believe I missed it. Oh my God, I'm so gutted. I can't believe I set my alarm and then forgot, blah, blah, blah. So you could always bring it back a week later, or maybe a slightly kind of redacted version of it, okay? Brands I see do a really good job of this. I see a certain brand that I follow who quite often will do a big sale, like a Black Friday sale, something like this. And this is a strategy that I actually employed in the menswear brand I used to work for, where I would do the VIP strategy, then we'd do the Black Friday weekend. But we'd say, okay, you might have missed out on the Black Friday sale last weekend, but we're giving you 20% off for 24 hours to make up for it, okay? Anyone who missed out, 20% off for 24 hours, but at that 24-hour point, that's it, we're cut off, and that is when orders end for Christmas, full stop, right? If you don't order by this date, you aren't getting your order before Christmas. You're just building those urgency kind of levers to get to the point where people are, actually going to order from you. And I want to be clear as well, this is not fake urgency, not fake scarcity or anything like that. We want this to be real and genuine. So if you have order cut-off dates, talk about them. If you have last kind of dates where you want to run a sale to, talk about them. Don't kind of keep extending them. Don't push them. Don't make them up or anything like that, because ultimately if you start doing that, it feels less authentic and your customers can feel it as well. We're not creating fake scarcity or urgency. We are really just tapping into the fact that you probably do have last order dates. You probably do have last dates where you need to take orders from in order to complete them before Christmas. Most business owners do. So make sure you're talking about them, right? So where are we talking about all of those things? We talked about this previously, about socials, about emails, but specifically, what are we talking about over the Black Friday weekend? Well, if you're kind of pushing on email, I would be sending a pre-launch email or series of pre-launch emails up to the point and that VIP launch. And then I would be sending your Black Friday launch email on Black Friday. I would probably send a reminder email too on Black Friday. I'd be showing that social proof over the weekend and any last chance or low stock reminders over the weekend up until that final chance, say, is ending on the Monday. If you're doing it on socials, same applies, but I want you to be posting reels, carousel, stories, countdown stickers. I'm not saying overwhelm yourself, but utilize the tools that are available to you on the platform, right? Same with TikTok, same with any of the platforms you spend time on. Consistently show up and post. Use the features that the platform give you, like countdown timers, to drive that extra urgency, okay? Your content is going to be seen but for a split second to so many people, so please don't worry that you're annoying them. And if they are annoyed, if they do unfollow, if they do unsubscribe, they are not your people. If you are talking about your offer and somebody unsubscribes, they were never going to buy from you. Okay, I can't tell you the volume of people that unsubscribe from my email list when I go into a launch, and I don't care, because I provide a ton of value, a ton of free information, a ton of help through my email channels, through my social channels, through my YouTube channels. If those people want that, but they don't want to stick around when I'm selling something, then what is the point in them being on my email list in the first place? Okay, that's absolutely okay with me. And maybe they'll opt back in the future. Maybe they just didn't want to hear about this particular sale. That's fine too. Please don't be worried that you're annoying people by selling. You are not annoying the people who are your people because they've chosen to follow you for a reason. They haven't chosen to follow you because they feel sorry for you or because they feel like they should follow you or anything like that. They like your products, they like you, they followed you. So if they then unfollow when you're selling something, they were never the right person in the first place. Let them go. It's absolutely fine. Focus on the fact that the people who do want to hear from you need to be reminded, need to be told why they should buy, and need to be reminded if there is an exclusive offer ending or something like that, so that they can, make the most out of this offer that you are giving them without missing out. So please, please, please keep this one in mind. I want you to print this off, stick it on your desk, and remind yourself of it all Black Friday weekend. Having worked for big brands, I can tell you the volume of emails, social posts, ads, everything that we would send over this one weekend would be significantly higher than any other time of year. Okay, we would sell we would send on average probably 4 emails per brand per day over Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Small Business Saturday, the actual Sunday as well. Over the 4 days, we would probably send 4 emails a day. Okay, now I don't recommend that. I don't think that is necessary whatsoever. This was a huge brand, but still, yeah, you'd get people unsubscribing, but that was fine because we all knew that the more emails we sent, the more money we made. Okay, so again, I'm not saying that you need to send 4 emails a day by any means, but just keep in mind that people will forget, people will not take action straight away, and people will need those reminders. So keep showing up and reminding them of what you are offering. Okay. All right, so final point then, don't let the momentum lull. So once Black Friday is over, it can feel really, really a bit draining, to be honest, because you've got so much adrenaline and you've built up to it for so long. And then you might just want to kind of crawl back into your hole and never talk about Black Friday or sales or offers or your products ever again, okay? Don't let the momentum lull. I'm not saying that you have to go as heavy, but start a debrief, right? Debrief it for yourself. Talk you through what works. Look at your numbers, look at your stats, look at the emails or the posts that did the most. What worked well for you, and then break that down into a way that your customers might want to hear it. For example, if you found that one of your emails generated all of your revenue, you might say something like, I've just been rethinking about, reminiscing on the Black Friday week. I can't believe how grateful I am for all of this kind of stuff that happened and all of my amazing customers. One email alone generated, X amount of orders for us, and that did this for my business, right? That meant that I don't have to sell another product for the rest of the year. Maybe it means that one email or that one post did more for your business than the rest of the year together, and you're so grateful because that's what this means to your business. It might mean the difference between continuing your business next year or not, or it might just simply mean that you get to live a comfortable lifestyle through your business thanks to your amazing customers. So give back to them and thank them in that way, right? So debrief it for yourself and then share it with your customers, share your wins. And if there was losses, if it didn't go as well, then share that, right? Share what you're comfortable with, because ultimately, again, we are human. We are all craving that human connection. And if you found that actually you worked really, really hard on this launch and you really thought it was going to take off and you're not sure why it didn't, maybe ask, maybe say, listen, I'm not feeling sorry for myself. We don't want pity posts, right? That's not what we're doing here. But maybe share that with your customers yourselves and say, hey, we really thought this would land well, but actually kind of disappointed that it didn't. We're not really sure why. Can you give us some feedback? Or I'm going to try something different. Let me know what you would like to see from us last time that maybe would work better for you, because this didn't work so well for us this time. Okay, really think about it both ways. Now, this isn't going to happen because if you do everything right in the lead up to this, you are not going to be sharing a loss, right? You're going to be sharing your wins. But I just want you to see that you can absolutely win regardless of the message that you're putting out there if you position it in the right way. Thank people, give back to them, rebuild that Thank people, give back to them, and rebuild that reciprocity. Okay, you've taken a lot from the bucket through this. You've been selling. You've been giving as well, because you've been giving discounts or offers or anything like that. But maybe you just want to scale back a little bit and thank and give back, and maybe do a win an order back campaign, or show that you've donated to charity, or ask which charity your customers will want you to donate on, right? Put a poll up and let them choose. Really just start kind of giving back, or giving free stuff away if you are in a digital space, maybe giving a free gift or something like that. Just kind of starting to think of ways to go, really appreciate you, this has been an amazing win, this is what happened, sharing your journey, and then going, by the way, here's something to give back to you because we really love you, right? It doesn't have to be anything huge, doesn't have to be anything ridiculous, but it's just a way to rebuild that bucket, and then you can go again for December, okay? So keep the momentum going and keep showing up and talking about your brand throughout December and into Christmas as well. Sales don't stop on Black Friday, right? The sales and discounts, the big ones, happen on Black Friday, but you've still got all those weeks up until Christmas to tap into where people are still buying as well. So that's for another video, but this is where you want to keep that momentum going and keep paying attention to what worked well up until this point so you can replicate going forward as well. So I really hope this has been helpful. I hope you've now got a plan of action and you know what you are working on going into Black Friday and beyond. And if there's anything you want a bit more support on, let me know in the comments. I can always look at creating more content around the things that you need the most support with if there is the demand for it. So give me a shout, and I hope it's been helpful, and I will catch you all later.